A warrior becomes one with his blade. This is the ultimate state that countless swordsmen strive for, but few ever achieve. For Ragna, having inherited the power of his future self, it is already his reality. To those with the eyes to see it, he is not a man holding a sword. He is a living, breathing silver blade that has grown arms and legs. 7 years ago, the Silver Princess, a woman born without arms, executed a high-ranking military officer in cold blood. The kingdom thought she had gone mad, but it was later revealed that the officer was a spy, secretly plotting a coup. When asked how she knew, the princess gave an unbelievable answer. She has eyes that can determine the truth at a glance. Now, after escaping the capital, Ragna and Crimson find themselves in the princess's secret underground base. Knowing his usual lies will be useless against her, Crimson tries a different approach. He reveals his dragon eyes, claiming to be a human mage with draconic features, a rare but known phenomenon. He spins a tale of being a hidden mage in the capital who was caught in the Dragon King's attack and accidentally teleported into their base while trying to escape with his wounded subordinate. The princess's mages are suspicious. To become a mage requires a formal education. They guess he must be a heretic who defected from the powerful solar cult. Crimson feigns a look of panic, intentionally leading them to this conclusion. He's confident he has them wrapped around his finger, but he has underestimated the princess. She explains that her power goes beyond simply sensing the fluctuations of a person's aura. She sees its color. The aura of a person telling the truth is blue, while a liar's is red. And while Crimson's aura is indeed a perfect, unwavering blue, it is also the most foul, disgusting, and evil-smelling blue she has ever witnessed. Before he can argue, a silver sword flies past his face. The princess has a tradition of gifting her custom-made blades to those she is about to execute. But the moment Crimson touches the hilt, she snatches it back. For her, silver is an extension of her own body, allowing her eyes to see beyond emotion and perceive a person's very essence. And what she sees in Crimson is a Kihei's collection of death, the echo of hundreds of thousands of souls he has murdered. He is not our ally, she declares. The explosions in the capital were likely his doing. Her soldiers draw their swords. Crimson, realizing he's been completely outplayed, prepares to die, planning to resurrect himself later and sneak away with Ragna while the princess's army is wiped out by the pursuing dragons. But just as the execution order is given, Ragna moves. He catches the princess's giant silver blade with a single hand. He tells her that hunting Crimson is his mission, and his alone. The soldiers are shocked. The old man guarding the entrance, their strongest warrior, has been defeated. And then, they see their leader. The proud, untouchable Silver Princess has fallen out of her chair and is sprawled on the floor, completely undignified. He is not our ally, she declares. The explosions in the capital were likely his doing. Her soldiers draw their swords. Crimson, realizing he's been completely outplayed, prepares to die, planning to resurrect himself later and sneak away with Ragna while the princess's army is wiped out by the pursuing dragons. But just as the execution order is given, Ragna moves. He catches the princess's giant silver blade with a single hand. He tells her that hunting Crimson is his mission, and his alone. The soldiers are shocked. The old man guarding the entrance, their strongest warrior, has been defeated. And then, they see their leader. The proud, untouchable Silver Princess has fallen out of her chair and is sprawled on the floor, completely undignified. While they are imprisoned, news spreads through the base like wildfire. Their invincible guard, a man who once severed the arm of a high-order dragon, was defeated in an instant. And worse, he joyfully declares that their princess has finally met a man stronger than him, and that he can now retire peacefully, knowing she will soon be married. The princess, meanwhile, is still lost in a daydream, replaying the moment she saw Ragna's handsome face. Her fantasy is brutally interrupted by a punch to the face from her advisor, Glasses Girl. She reminds the princess that her love-crazed state has made her lose her composure. When the princess denies it, she gets another punch and another, until she finally admits it. She thinks Ragna is the hottest guy she's ever seen, and she never knew she was so superficial. Glasses Girl is happy her leader has found someone she likes, but reminds her of her duty. The army she leads is the strongest in the kingdom, a gathering of top 100 warriors who follow her not just for her strength, but for her leadership. She is their hope. She can fall in love, but first, she has a responsibility to fulfill. Miles away, in the ruins of the capital, the one responsible for all this, Madia, is suffering. Traumatized by her defeat, she tries to use her time-stop magic. But she finds she can't even freeze a simple flower vase in place. Ragna has broken more than just her body. He has broken her will. A dragon king with a broken will is nothing more than a frightened, ordinary woman. Madia, whose absolute confidence in her time magic was her greatest weapon, has been utterly shattered by Ragna. In her eyes, combat has always been a barbaric act for the empty-hearted. Her magic was supposed to be the ultimate counter to such savagery, but now that confidence is gone. Crimson watches from afar, wondering what she will do. Now would be the perfect time to finish her off. Madia desperately tries to test her powers again, but before she can, Crimson gives the signal. Explosions rock the entire royal capital. The city burns. The screams of the dying and the anguish of the survivors flood the streets. This is the reality of destruction that Madia has tried to sugarcoat with her merciful magic. Crimson is forcing her to confront the true horror of her actions. She now faces an impossible choice: let thousands of innocent people die in agony, or use her world time rewind to save them, an act that will completely drain her magic and leave her defenseless. The barrier dragon pleads with her not to do it, but Madia is paralyzed by indecision. Seeing his plan has failed for now, Crimson orders a temporary retreat. Crimson meets with his agent, Golem, and immediately smashes a bottle over his head. Several of the bombs he planted failed to detonate. Golem apologizes. The bombs were near his favorite restaurants. Crimson shoves the broken bottle into Golem's eye, reminding him that the value of life is situational. By sparing a few restaurants, Golem ruined a plan that could have ended the war. Golem confesses that he intentionally failed to detonate some of the bombs. He was testing Crimson, worried that his new obsession with Ragna had changed him. But now he sees his master as the same cold, ruthless, and pragmatic leader he has always been. As punishment for his insolence, Crimson orders Golem to remain in the capital and continue observing the dragons, a near-certain death sentence. Meanwhile, fueled by his failure to protect Madia, the barrier dragon's loyalty and determination trigger a powerful evolution. His control over barriers, a lesser form of spatial magic, expands, and his senses sharpen. Inside Crimson's pocket dimension, Ragna refuses to retreat. Influenced by his memories of Leo, his philosophy is simple: kill the enemy when you have the chance. He tries to activate his silver aura, but this is a fatal mistake. The raw power clashes violently with the fabric of the pocket dimension. Outside, the newly evolved barrier dragon senses the disturbance. He locates their spatial signature and uses all his power to rip them out of their hiding place. Crimson is furious. His perfect escape route is gone. He is dragged through a chaotic vortex and his plans are shattered. The exit point is not the one he designed. And waiting for them on the other side is the one person in the kingdom he wanted to avoid at all costs. They materialize in the middle of a secret underground base, right in front of its commander, the second princess of the kingdom, a woman known to the world as the Silver Princess. Crimson, ever the quick thinker, immediately tries to take control of the situation. He offers to answer any of her questions in exchange for medical treatment for the critically injured Ragna. The princess agrees and, as a sign of goodwill, offers him a large piece of roasted meat. As Crimson eats, she asks with a sweet smile, "Isn't it delicious? It's the dragon meat I bought." Crimson is completely unnerved. This woman is a legend. Born without arms, she learned to manipulate the aura of objects with her eyes, using silver cutlery as extensions of her body, earning her the name Silver Princess. At age 6, she single-handedly slayed 3 dragons. At 7, she won a martial arts tournament in disguise. By 9, she had foiled a military coup. At 10, she became a master craftsman of silver weapons. Now, at only 16, she leads the kingdom's strongest army and recently succeeded in killing a high-order dragon. But it's not her strength that worries Crimson. It's her eyes. She possesses the Starlight Eyes, an ability that allows her to perceive the aura of truth. Lying to her is all but impossible. The princess demands to know who he is, where he came from, and why he is here. Crimson races through his options. They are both enemies of the dragons, so an alliance is possible. But he needs to find a way to deceive her Starlight Eyes. He realizes that her power likely reads the emotional fluctuations in a person's aura. To fool her, he must become a master of his own emotions, a liar so perfect that even his soul believes the lie. He readies his story, putting on the performance of a lifetime. He reveals his dragon-like eyes, claims to be a mage, and the princess listens patiently. And then she tells him that none of it matters. Her eyes have already told her everything she needs to know.